yo, come through.
Hey, welcome to Come Through Chats. We hope to make this your favorite podcast. If you're listening on a streaming platform like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you are actually hearing this first. We release here 24 hours before we release on YouTube, so thank you for being a top tier supporter. Take your support to the next level by purchasing merchandise from our website, toastofprogression.com, and buy as much stuff as you possibly can handle. We appreciate you, your time, and your support. Listen up. We hope you learned something.
Hadouken! Yeah, what's going on, Shemay, man? DJ Hadouken. Now we in the building. East side to be exact. Garnett to be exact. 21st and Garnett to be exact. And I done slid in with my man King Spencer at the come up. Toss it. Take off!
Hadouken! You heard it?
Yeah.
Bro, what's going on?
Oh, man, nothing much, man. Feeling like $1,000,000. Came out here for some family situation, but pulled up on you, so it's all good. So
yeah, bro, I'm happy when I was actually knocked out when you called and you had rung that line. And I said, okay, Hadouken. I answered and you like, bro, I'm in the town. What's up? I was like,
you
15 minutes.
Look, you and Big Rich, Young DV, Young Quan are the only people I really called. Right?
Yeah.
That was it. Like that's pretty much all who I've called today in regards to, and Steph ain't pick up the phone, so
yeah, you know, Steph probably got a million things shaking like you do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He probably in Tokyo or something. He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back.
You know what I'm saying?
Having fire little Africa vibes. So.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
well, bro, we got a lot of stuff to discuss today. And I want to start off by just asking you how's life in Atlanta been?
Life in Atlanta's been pretty good, man. It's actually been pretty straight. It's been treating me pretty well. The grind in the world of music in Atlanta. Now, granted, I'm doing well. I got a producer show, Iron Fist Cookup, that's been moving producers and making producers been able to tap in with their favorite producer and be able to collab with them and just give them the opportunity in a different aspect. But as for Atlanta itself, Atlanta's been kind of tough and difficult, bro, because Atlanta is in a music crisis. It's an identity crisis. I don't know what they want to do. And truly, it's because when you got Young Thug who go to jail, you got Gunna that nobody really trusts, you got Trouble that got murked, you got Takeoff that passed. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta's just is in a very rough time, and it doesn't know what it want to do. And it is because of the digital age has converted, but it's also with Atlanta getting up with this new style and this new age of time to figure itself out to where it needs to go next route. Because if Atlanta's stuck on where it's at now, I guarantee you another city is going to take it. Now, granted, decades that Atlanta's been on top of this game, I'm not entirely sure if it'll be in the same aspect, but it may be 5 years or so forth. Now, granted, Atlanta still has artists still pulling up. It still got producers still pulling up, networking and getting in with their favorite artists, but whatever they're doing in regards. But it is Atlanta's hands is up in the air because it doesn't know what it want to do.
So it sounds like what you're saying is Atlanta isn't a tastemaker right now.
To be honest, I hate to say it, but no. That's a 90%, and then there's a 10% yes. It still is a tastemaker, and 90% no, it's not a tastemaker because the money's drying up in Atlanta, and and that's on the basis of events. The only people who could probably still get a bag is a major podcast or a major radio station that has a dope podcast that's really moving in Atlanta. Like I said, the digital age of Atlanta is here, but Atlanta itself, the culture of Atlanta, is trying to figure it out.
So who would you give the tastemaker title to in the United States?
In the United States?
Mm-hmm.
You talking about it as a podcast or just musically?
Musically.
At this time?
Right now.
Detroit?
You right.
Florida? Because it's so much music that's coming out of Florida without the DJs right now that it has more power.
Yeah.
it has extreme power, and it's because of TikTok, and it's just because of the net. It's just because of the internet. The internet going up. Texas right now, in a whole, it is doing something, and I'm surprised to see all of Texas doing something. Yeah. Than just Dallas, and then Houston's quiet, or Houston and Dallas is quiet, and then you'll hear a little mozzarella spread of Austin and Texarkana, San Antonio, but nah, like really Texas is really going up through there with different artists that's really got their names up. Okay. So, but I do want to say this though. I think this is also an era that you really can't look at the artistry based off the city and we putting the city on. Is really right now who the artists who got the money in the budget and who know how to handle the business. Mm-hmm. You know, originally, me doing mixtapes and being a DJ and all that and being a producer, I wanted to put Tulsa on the map. But you can't really come in that angle anymore because nowadays, no one's not looking at Oklahoma and being like, what? Niggas rapping in Oklahoma? Like, huh? Niggas rapping Minnesota. That's weird. That ain't weird nowadays. Right. It's just not weird.
It's everywhere now.
It's everywhere now. Mm-hmm. So the only thing you can really tell different from somebody nowadays is probably their beats or their accent when it comes to how they rap. But nowadays, I mean, it's not based upon where they from. Right now, this is based upon who got the money and the marketing and the business correct. Yeah. So.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting, bro. I want to know who are some of the artists from Tulsa that you've been keeping up with.
So I've been keeping up with Fire from Little Africa because St. Dominique, I grew up with St. Dominique in Normandy Apartments before they changed it because I went back over there and Normandy looks so different now.
Yeah. What is it Normandy called now?
Yeah, what is Normandy called now?
Shoot, I
forgot. Yeah, it's called Normandy.
Yeah, it's called Normandy. It's still the hood of me, but when I grew up there. But St. Dominique, I actually gave St. Dominique beats off the PS2. A lot of people don't even know that, but St. Dominique used to want to rap back in the day, and I had a cousin by the name of Matt Leon. Matt Leon is my cousin.
Shout out, Matt.
And I was trying to always get St. Dominique in the studio when Matt Leon and his brother Melvin, when they was signing Soldier Flow from Stacker Grip. I know that's a throwback, but that's really, I was really trying to put St. Dominique in the studio in 5th grade because I really believed in it, and I was making beats for him on the PS2 on a music generator, MTV2 music generator.
That's crazy.
So we got to tap back in, St. Dominique. You know, last time we talked, you had a dope record going on, so I'm glad to see what's going on with them. But St. Dominique is who I've been in tune with. Daltone, because I used to be a part of Tulsa where I was the main DJ with DJ Selly 2 times. Rest in peace, Selly 2 times. So I still keep in tune with all the family. Lawrence Leon. And right now, actually, if it wasn't for Lawrence Leon, I would have never went to Atlanta because he let me stay in his crib for a period of time. And then Young Quan, me and Young Quan got something in the work since we both from the East Side. You know what I'm saying?
You dropped that East Side with Love project.
Yeah. Me and him are actually putting a whole project together, so that's coming and whatnot. So to be continued on that. But as of now, we probably got like two or three records together as of now, but they need to get mixed down and stuff like that. But, in due time.
That's dope. I want to jump back over to what you were saying about the Iron Fist Cook-Up and that whole movement that you guys started. I watch it on Instagram and all the videos and tournaments and just all the dope stuff that you got going, and it's dope because you're from Tulsa and I see the traction that you gaining out there in Atlanta. Tell me a little bit more about what is Iron Fist and what kind of effect is it having on the music scene in Atlanta.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna start from the beginning. What made me want to do Iron Fist? So in 2018, I started seeing the mixtape game die out. So I told myself, all right, I gotta do something different. I had a partner who moved in with me, Lawrence Leon. He had came back to Atlanta. He went back to Tulsa and he came to Atlanta and he brought a partner of mine. His name used to be C-Boy, but now he calls himself Jeppy. he came in, and at the time when I'm thinking, man, should I stop DJing? Should I keep doing mixtapes? What should I do? He came in with Ableton on the laptop, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm about to get back and producing because I see him going crazy. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get back into making beats. So I'm going crazy every day. Like, I'm in the gym making beats every day. 2020 come, I had a podcast called The Dojo Show. Mm-hmm. And it was cool and whatnot. And then I told myself I want to do something different for the producer world. And what made me want to do something different for the producer world, and I was stuck on it. I got a mentor back in Atlanta, Tal Fahaya from Oakland, from the Nickel and Dime, and he was like, you need to make a platform. If you're gonna do this, make a platform for producers to really get an opportunity though. Mm-hmm. While he's teaching me how to make beats better, more clear, more crisp, and more sophisticated, he brought up certain ideas about how to do Iron Fist before it was even Iron Fist Cook-Up. So I run to my manager and I tell him like, yo, we're gonna make a show called Iron Fist, but I want to do something different for producers. I want to give producers opportunity to really be able to play their beats in front of a producer, major producer, and be able to get critiqued about that directly, what they need to work on, this and that, even if it means to tell them, I rock with your beats, let's work, or the bad side telling them, hey, because in the show, in Iron Fist, we got a deal called Open Your Dog, where pretty much if
Open a producer,
your dog, DAW. So dog, you got the Pro Tools up, you got a GarageBand up. That's a DAW that producers can make beats in. Mm. So that's the slogan in the producer world. What's your DAW? You use FL Studio, you use Cubase, you use Reason, you use Machine, Ableton. The list go on and on of just extreme DAWs that producers make beats on. Mm. So open your DAW if your beat, because you bring your laptop in the room. We at Stank on Your Studios, the home of Outkast. So you got your beat up, you playing it, and then producers are like, hold up, nigga, why your 808 kind of distorted? Why you got a tree branch in there for no reason? Man, open your DAW, bro. Let's see what's going on, bro. Like, what is that? And it ain't to put producers down, but it's to help producers, because with my show, I'm here to make you and break you at the same time. If you sitting in front of 4 Grammy-nominated producers most of the time. I bring in some heavy producers. You know what I'm saying? So, because the last Iron Fist Cook-Up I did, I brought Jay Reed, who produced majorly for Nicki Minaj, brought her back to life. Bobby Critical, who pretty much made Lil Uzi Vert's sound. And then I brought in Adam on the track, who produced for Post Malone. So I'm bringing in major producers. Then before that, I brought Drummer Boy. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, bro. You from Tulsa, bro.
I brought in Drummer Boy. I brought in Bolo, who did the Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay. Kid Wonder Beats, who did a lot of stuff with Chief Keef and Lil Durk back then, like the beginning of their sound. And I got more coming with that, but I'm bringing them so when you play your beats, it gotta be sophisticated. It can't be just, oh, we playing trap beats, this is cool. Nah, it gotta be something, hey, we gotta work today. We gotta cook up after this event today. And I'm making it that type of opportunity because producers have never had that before. Artists have had that before since I can remember. But producers ain't never had a thing where they coming outside. Because most producers, they kick it at the crib. That's all they do. They at the crib, they get out work, and they cooking up. And it could be a nigga who look like a Taliban nigga, and all he do is go back and forth work, pay bills, take care of his kids, and he come to an event, he might be having a crazy sound. He might be doing G-Funk with techno. He might be doing the New West, the Kendrick Lamar sound with the New Orleans bounce. Like, it's so many sounds out here today that my platform, it gives the producer who is, you wouldn't even think they make those type of beats. It is on that can be in here and probably get on. Yeah. Perfect example, we got a producer right now that in the city of Atlanta, you say his name, they like, yeah, I know who that is. But they kind of know him based off just what they've seen in Atlanta. But we pretty much put him on. His name is Mappa, but his tag is like Mappa, this be hard as hell. And he had like 3 record deals on the table just off the strength of Iron Fist. And because he's a 12-year-old, he should be playing Xbox. Nah, his Xbox is the FL Studios. You know what I'm saying? So it's to open the door to just any and every producer who's here to really want to work and really want to do their thing than just sitting at the crib making beats that get paid for.
So let me switch gears one time. Is there any potential for a platform like that in Tulsa, and would it work? Do you believe?
I believe Tulsa can definitely have it, especially because, see, with Tulsa, when it comes to producers, you have to know who made the sound of the Red Dirt sound that we kind of are on and hip to today. Because Tulsa has this Cali, down south type of inspiration where it wants to be sometimes G-Funk. It wants to sometimes be Texas. It wants to sometimes be Atlanta to a small pinch.
I agree with that.
But you also have to realize, like, if there was an Iron Fist for Tulsa, you would have to bring in niggas who made the sound for Tulsa, who made the sound for OKC. You got to bring in Kool Keith, because we wouldn't know Oklahoma City sound if it wasn't for him, because Kool Keith was on 105 letting people hear Polo G, Kurt Dog, Presidential Trap House. We were really hearing the sound of Oklahoma because of Kool Keith and whatnot. So DJ JB Smooth, if it wasn't for Kool Keith and JB Smooth, we would not know the sound. We wouldn't even hear, Tulsa would never hear Oklahoma City, and Oklahoma City would never hear Tulsa. 90% of people from Tulsa back in the day wasn't even paying attention to Oklahoma City. So you would have to remember, you got to remember the Love Shack. You got to remember the Love Shack. You got to remember Block Froze. You got to remember Speaking Into Existence. You got to think of Cutter Classics. You got to think of producers. You got to think of Now It Ain't Trap, who's now a chef now. You got to think not only just Two Piece. A lot of people in Oklahoma probably going to think, oh, he probably talking about Two Piece. Nah, you got to think over that line of Two Piece, because, yeah, Two Piece is the sound who engineers everything and whatnot. That's gravy. But it's a lot of producers that have made the sound for Oklahoma that you would have to add them in here, because we would not have a sound here if it was not for them. You know what I'm saying? So the list go on and on with producers who really tried to make it out here. But at the same time, if you weren't hip on the era of Hennessy from 99 with Nitro to the era of Sav Squad, because I could say from Nitro to Sav Squad, not the group 918, CO2 the Great, you know, that whole era of them, they really made this Red Dirt. Young Villain, shout out to Young Villain, because he really East Side for real. He really taught me how to be repping the East Side. You got to really add them into that whole era. And then the producers that were making beats at that time that we probably didn't know they were producers, because we weren't paying attention to producers back then. You know what I'm saying? I think the only group that people kind of really knew that made beats in Tulsa, if it wasn't Paramount Beats from Nashville that was messing with Miss Unique, Alexis Renee back in the day, you probably wouldn't even know. He was from Nashville, but he made a lot of beats for people from Tulsa. But I personally would say the person who had an actual tag that everybody kind of knew, and it really was depending on who you kind of listen to their music from, is probably Block Froze. Rich Kid, because you heard Rich Kid, Block Froze. But you got to really know Oklahoma music and hip-hop to kind of know.
Listed a bunch of them that went right over my head, but a lot of them I'm familiar with.
Mouthpiece, the producer Mouthpiece.
But look, bro, even given all of those names and what they contributed to the Tulsa sound, bringing them together, bringing a collaborative of producers together today in Tulsa, what does the benefit look like? Because the benefit for all that would be is Tulsa to honor what that sound is and whatever that pocket is, and whatnot. Matt Leone could probably have a pocket. Two Piece could have a pocket. And really, when it comes to Tulsa, I don't even think you need a deal like Iron Fist. You need an actual event that can collab, and you can actually watch it in the studio. And whether it's in Tulsa or Oklahoma City, and you can actually see producers actually cook up together. So you seeing producers from Oklahoma City, seeing producers in Tulsa come together and just be in the studio and just watching producers collab, because it'll actually be dope to see that, because you'll see, like,
I seen the process of these whoever making these beats for people for Tulsa. I know what these beats are sound like because I seen what's his name put this together. I seen him go crazy with them snares. I seen what's his name go crazy with this and that, A, B, C, and D. So it's like when you have if you have an event like that for Oklahoma when they come up producers, you probably definitely have some because it might be a producer that might be big on G-Funk. And it might be a producer that's big on down south where he going crazy on the 808s. And there's another producer where he collabing, he going crazy on the melodies and the keys on the beat. So, and then you got another producer where he want to put in a bass line. So he going crazy on it. So it really would need to be a sooner collaboration type thing when it comes to Oklahoma. It got to be something of that nature.
Man, I got so many questions, bro, but I'm going to just go with this one. How does pride and envy and jealousy play into this formula that you got going? Because I know that you got prideful and jealous dudes that feel like, you know, they don't want to be a part of it, or they feel like, am I making sense?
I think with that, you can't really have pride, or you can't really have pride when it comes to this situation, because it's for the greater good to see Oklahoma sound really get out and whatnot. See, a lot of people technically wouldn't even know me in Tulsa because I really would never make moves in Tulsa when it came to the underground shit. And especially at the time when Tulsa was trying to get on, you really only seen Big Rich or Wayne in this thing who really had Tulsa Oklahoma on the map, or J. Poe. Shout out to J. Poe 405, OG Poe 405. But I think my thing was I had to get out of town a lot and go mess with Arkansas and whatnot. I had to go mess with Arkansas. Arkansas know me more than Oklahoma do. And that's kind of crazy to say, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just think that's just the process of just how my purpose and walk of life just went. But when it come back to the pride of what you're saying, right? When it come to Oklahoma technically doesn't have a pride thing. It's not like that anymore. I just think it's just Oklahoma still trying to get its foot in the door. Its foot is trying to really get in the door right now. And that's the problem with Oklahoma. So I don't think it's a jealousy thing, because Oklahoma City and Tulsa can deal with each other. Before we couldn't deal with each other. We just couldn't. You know what I'm saying? It took having JB come down here. It took a lot of Oklahoma City cats to come down here and see what's going on in Tulsa. And it took Fire and Little Africa to do it. It took the Live and 405 Nation to come and do it. It took a lot of people to want to deal with that glitch that we had here. And I think it also got to do with the small town city slicker living from Tulsa to Oklahoma City that made us be that way. I don't really think it's a jealousy thing. I think it's just a baby that's learned how to crawl, walk, and get to it. Now Tulsa just need to be sonic. Oklahoma City and Tulsa need to be sonic and road runner times 10 and go. That's just what it's all about, man.
Right. All right. Well, yeah, I had some other questions, but they shot my mind. This is one of them. So that same formula that you have with the Iron Fist Cook-Up that just kind of unites producers to build each other up, does that same formula work with the musicians, the artists?
No, it doesn't, and I'll tell you why. So with musicians, yeah, it can, because with musicians, a musician is trying to, see, this is the best way I can explain it, and I explained this to one of my partners a while back. The music industry is kind of like the cafeteria in high school, where you come in and you can say, hey, I'm a musician. Well, the musician will go with the musician, right? So the musician is, I'm a musician. I play the flute, I play piano, I play alto, tenor, saxophone, etc. Yeah, I do all those things. And how long you been doing it? I've been doing it for 10 years. Okay, you know the notes and the scales, and I know the scales. But you look at him as a bum. You look at him as a bum. Why? Because he might be musically inclined like crazy, but The messed up thing about it is you look at him as a bum. You know who you look at as God in the cafeteria, popular? You look at that artist who don't know nothing about engineering, who don't know nothing about the game in depth, who really don't even know the business really correctly. You honor him because he might be next up and taking off because he just know how to rap cool. He just cool for the time being. We don't even know if homie gonna be here in the next 5 years, dog. We don't know if he or she gonna be the next Michael Jackson. We don't know none of that. But we look at the artist as, oh, they got it more popping because they got a brand and they got an image. Woo da da da. But if you bring them to the studio to come work, they're not gonna do like cats in LA where he know how to engineer. He know how to make these beats. He know how to make this sound. He know how to play these keys. He know how to play the saxophone. He know how to really get the sound going. He know how to do everything and make it clear. And all right, we doing another record. All right, cool. And go right back to sleep. No, the artist is not doing that. That musician is who you really gotta show love to. The producer who be on a computer and make beats is doing using VSTs and anything whatever to kind of make a sound. They probably don't even know the keys that they're playing. They're probably using Scalar or some other VST to try to finesse it. But here's the thing about it. About that person in the cafeteria, the producer, right? So we talked about the artist being a fraud in a sense. But 7 out of 10 producers, right, do not know how to play keys. Don't really know how to do melodies. You could ask them, play me a chord of C, D, E major together. Do it on a laptop. A laptop, be scared. Why? Because producers don't really take the time to want to learn how to create keys and melodies and whatnot. It may be some producers that want to do it, but most of them don't. Most of them are sampling or making a loop, some corny loop, and collabing that loop with somebody else and thinking that's the game. But nah, it's really not the game, and especially how diverse the world is when it comes to music. But this is just the trap world I'm talking about. This is rap that I'm talking about. Because the techno EDM, they got to be precise with their ears. They got to be precise with the notes that's being played. A musician, he might like jazz. He might want to make a jazz type sound. He might want to make a lo-fi type sound, a boom bap type sound. Because that's what most musicians, when they make music, they'll be in that range, or they'll do a gospel type of, sometimes some producers even do gospel trap type sounds where it'll go good with a gospel record. But they got to know those notes that they're playing. They got to know what they're doing. It got to make sense, because if they don't know, especially the keys, you can put all the 808s and kick and hi-hats as much as you want. You can try to sample as much as you want, but if you don't know them keys, bruh, you're stuck. Yeah. Because if you really go into a studio with somebody and they're asking for something specifically, play this keys, play this that, play ABC, you're stuck. Yeah. And you're just sitting there.
But wrap up how the formula of Iron Fist wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. Okay, yeah, because I was too busy talking. My bad.
You good, bro?
It wouldn't work with artists because artists are trying to figure themselves out in this game and become a brand. A musician and a producer, they're in the same category because they're average Joe Blow people that you probably didn't know they did music unless you really hung out with them. Mm-hmm. And then it's cool for them to want to go work with each other. They don't really have a beef. They really don't have a problem. They don't even have issues with each other. Yeah. They just on some, oh, bro, you make beats too? Oh, man, what you use, bro? Oh, okay. Oh, man, I use the same thing. Hey, how you feel about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, bro? Like, how you feel about that? Mm-hmm. Man, I be using the same thing too, bro. Yeah. That's how they're gonna be.
Right.
Now, you might get a musician who might be on some, I don't know, wait, use what? Oh, okay, well, I mean, I just know how to play the saxophone real good and the drums and the piano, like, you know. That's all I know how to do.
Yeah.
Because trying to work stuff on a computer, that's not their life.
Right. Well, let's shift gears real quick. I want to ask you a couple of questions just about like what you think could be some info that you could give to artists that could be kind of beneficial to their career. One of them is, what is the key to getting tastemakers in your city to play and promote your music?
Money, the budget. What is it looking like? What we gonna do? Nobody. We grown out here. You know, no one works for free. No one does. If you think that somebody works for free, you're a joke. Maybe if they're 19 or 20 because they want to thrive out here or they want to get their brand names started somewhere, but in other case, no one works for free. Please have a budget. Please have it ready. Be prepared. Have your business ready. Have your LLC ready. Whatever it takes, you know. Having a tastemaker, like, and you saying, for instance, like, let's say you get let's say a producer and an artist are working together, right? They partners. Mm-hmm. The producer collabs with Zaytoven and Drummer Boy. That's dope. Then he wants to go get a feature from NBA YoungBoy and Lil Boosie. You're going to need a lot of money to make all that happen. Mm-hmm. Then you need a budget to make it move. Mm-hmm. We talking about something that's going to probably run somebody possibly $1 million to really make sense. And it matters. It just 100% matters, man. Have that budget, have that money ready, and don't be playing no games when it comes to that, because that's a serious thing. You got NBA YoungBoy, Lil Boosie. Bring
it down to a more local level. Like, what would those numbers look like?
So local level, you're looking at, so you're talking about.
Let's say you got a Lil Boosie feature. That's realistic. You know what I'm saying? That probably run you a couple thousand.
Yeah, that's about $50K. Boosie want $50K
for a feature.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then NBA YoungBoy, he wants more. He wants $80K almost. And then Drummer Boy's probably gonna run a producer on a collab. Zaytoven and Drummer Boy all together probably gonna put on a collab beat. Probably, you know, working in the studio doing y'all thing all together. They're probably gonna come out about 10 bands.
Okay, so what if you just like a local guy that just got a little bit of heat on a record? What you think? Give it up, or you think it's something to be worked there?
It can be worked. It just what are you going? What's the budget gonna be like for you to go move it?
Yeah.
Are you really ready to move this record?
And that's the next question. What are some ways to move a record, in your opinion?
A team, really a team, bro. It's really a team. Apologies.
You good?
It's really a team, because if you don't have a team with this that you pay to do what they need to do, whether it be marketing and this and that. I mean, you need a team behind all that. So it's really a team in between all that. Like, for instance, bro, there's a lot of records that I seen when I was in high school from artists having records with Lil Boosie, Gucci Mane, especially Gucci Mane. I was like, man, this the one right here. This could take off. It didn't take off because niggas ain't had no budget. No one had a budget. It was just a record on a mixtape, and that was it. We got something that's making crazy in Atlanta, and I'm not gonna go in depth about it, but there's a specific artist and a manager that runs a big label in Atlanta where he put his bread behind some couple artists, major artists, and put bread behind the radio. And when it came down to it, that was like $2 million off of just the artistry, the radio, the marketing, etc. For people for DJs to want to go hear it, maybe want to DJ it, for people to want to listen to it. It's like, oh, that take a budget. Why? Because it's advertisement for you to be known to people who work on a day-to-day basis, who eat, sleep, shit, and they gotta listen to you? For what? You see what I'm saying? It costs money for all that.
Yeah.
For people even remember in their mind, oh yeah, hey boy, you hilarious. Bro, that brand was crazy. I remember that. Mm-hmm. It take a budget for you to remember Iron Fist Cookup, right? technically, I haven't done Iron Fist Cook Up in 2 months because I haven't brought another episode out. You know it because I put the budget behind it on YouTube to consistently come through
Facts.
your thinking process and seeing it.
Because it ain't like I was just waking up every day like, what DJ Hadouken going on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but it was consistently in like to a point where I'm familiar to, I could tell you a little bit about it. You know what I'm saying?
So it took a budget. That budget was like 2 bands, bro. Yeah. Through YouTube alone. Yeah. And that's just to do a little bit of going. If I go out, hey man, you run Iron Fist Cook Up. I've seen you. And that's happened, in which that's cool, but it take a budget, bro. Ain't no joke.
How do you handle relationships when you have an artist that is kind of overplaying their value or their position in a partnership?
And this time and age, especially me being got kids and whatnot, I probably will put them to the side and we'll just see where it go from there. Hopefully you got a wishing well, because it doesn't really work like that. You need to have the bread ready up in front. Like, if we doing a couple now granted, if it's a real relationship and we'll figure it out later, that's cool. But if it's not really something serious to where, we got to be in the studio for a couple days because Jay-Z about to be on this record, Beyonce about to be on this record. Okay, if it's nothing in that aspect, there's really nothing really to talk about, bro. We just hoping and wishing that okay, because you got some clout on Instagram that ain't giving us no money to pay bills and live by ourselves on, and we just thinking, your clout is gonna take off. This is not 2010, 2009. It's not like that. This ain't the Dat Piff age. This is a digital age where people are getting money just off of just a record going, something taking off, but it's some budget behind it and it's making consistent money to where people can feed their families in. If I can't do that with you, bro, we can't really work. If I got a real relationship with you, we can really talk about the business, the paperwork, and keep it moving to where we both satisfied. And I'm not angry at you deep inside, and you not tripping on me because you got some type of clout and think I should worship you and kiss your feet. Yeah. It don't work like that.
Let me ask you another thing. As a DJ, how should an artist approach you if they want you to spin their record?
So when it comes to that,
and speak generally, like
I am gonna speak generally because I'm not big into DJing as much anymore, but I still rock with the aura and the era because that's what made me. It really come down to, see, when I did it, when I was DJing, all I played was independent artists, so that was like my biggest thing. But I wasn't really focused on people giving me money. But when it came down to it, if I really like your music, some DJs will rock with you where they like your music. And then there's some DJs, they just want to be paid regardless because they don't know what they're going to get. But I feel like you also, as a DJ, have to respect the art of it when it comes to artistry. And if you hear something that you like, this could definitely go, and really take time for it, than just somebody who just throwing you some music and throwing you something that's just corny and whack and distorted and not mixed and wasting your time. And just give me the money because you're just wasting my time. So.
All right. You kept it a little too real on that one, bro.
But it happens.
Yeah. Okay. We had a request on the question, and it was, do you feel like hip hop, rap music is having a negative effect on our communities?
Yeah, it does, because it's what us as human beings love, especially being black. You love the style of culture, especially with hip hop, depending on what region you're from. That's what we're into. That's the style we into and whatnot. It's gotten so effectively to the point where you have Afrobeats that has more power right now than hip hop. It may overpower it in the next couple of years because Afrobeats is fun, it's African-y, and you can have a good time because it feels like love music and you can still have a dope vibe. You know what I'm saying? I feel like trap music, street music, don't get me wrong, it's always going to be here. The gangster music is always going to be here. Does it affect our community? Yeah, because people really think like this, bruh. Niggas really gangbang. Niggas really trap. People really put on for they set. Granted, when we grew up, that was a big thing. Street music was a big thing. Every mixtape was real street music. And it's niggas that was really living that life with no problem. Has it distorted a lot of black people to want to do whatever, be gutter, gold in the mouth? It runs everything to where you want to have a tattoo on your face and go crazy. The style of clothes we all wear, it influences everything. Good and bad. I can't say it just does bad most of the time. It does good also at the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's just life. Whether it can be this camera, there's gonna be ups and downs with the camera. And in hip hop, it's definitely gonna be some ups and downs because hip hop comes from talking what needs to be said in a good way, and also hip hop also comes from a side where it's a rebellious way, extremely rebellious towards people, towards the hoods, money, women, etc. It's just a part of it.
Dang, that's nice. That's nice, bro. That's nice, but man, bro, I could keep going, but we got to get up out of the studio, bro. But that's DJ Hadouken for y'all, man. It was such an honor to have you on here. My hands always sweat when I do these podcasts, bro. But dang, bro, I appreciate you popping in while you here from Atlanta.
I do want to say this because I know you got to get out of here, right? So, I do want to say I'm proud of you, King Spence, because I remember when we was in elementary, you just wanted to play basketball. That's all you wanted to do. I never would imagine a kid from the east side who was standing in the hood behind KinderCare, Koala Care back in the day, would have niggas coming up to the crib. Like, this is facts. I experienced this. Urban Outlet, he tells me, hey bro, I'm thinking about filming and doing videos. I'm like, all right, bet. Then I heard one of my partners tell me, hey bro, I'm on the east side. I'm like, you stay out north. You don't come out here. What you doing? Oh man, I'm over here by King Spence's house. I'm like, wait, King Spence? You mean Spencer, like Tulsa Progression? Yeah, I'm over here, cuz, pull up. I'm like, okay. I see him filming, going crazy in the hood, in the apartments in the hood, filming, doing it all the time, editing. Would have niggas watching the crib while he editing inside. You different. Like Gutter TV say, you gonna be big, nigga. You gonna be big. And then the era of Nipsey Hussle, with you just going and doing your thing with him, bro. I'm really proud to say somebody from Tulsa was able to do that. From East Tulsa, to be clear. So I'm proud of you, bro. I salute you.
Bro. My hands sweaty, bro. I can't do you like that, bro. But man, it's an honor, bro, to have you on here. I'm happy that we could get you in here. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute, bro. When I be in the A, I'll be trying to tap in with you, but sometimes
it just be busy, bro. It be busy. Yeah.
Real talk, but hey, y'all make sure y'all click the link in the description and support our podcast. Purchase a shirt, you know what I mean? We got new merch dropping on the website. Make sure y'all go follow DJ Hadouken on Instagram at I am DJ Hadouken. I am DJ Hadouken at Gmail, Instagram. Well, of course, I just said that. Facebook, the whole nine, man. Just tap. We got it all down there in the description. Make sure y'all go check them out. But all right, I'll see y'all later. And that's it for this episode of Come Through Chats. Again, we appreciate you, your time, and your support. Take your support to the next level by purchasing merch at TulsaProgression.com. Until next time, see you later.